Whoa. Really? Yeah, that didn't quite happen, did it? Anyway, hello viewers, welcome back to another Captain JJ video. We are here for the final round of the Gran Turismo World Series Nations 2023 season. And we are at Gran Valley Highway, almost said Speedway there, what's that all about? With the Group 3s. Now I selected the Nissan GTR. We started off the season with this car under a different livery, and now we're finishing the season with this same car, but under my own created livery. This is a two-part video. The first part will be showing you the replay versions of how the race progressed, and then later on we'll be showing you the stream reaction as it happened. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell on your way out so that you can just get notified of all my YouTube doings. So we've just gone through the opening lap here where I had a few issues, and then going into the second lap I can lose a position here to the Turkish driver and almost losing another position to Keen, the South African. Both of them driving Toyotas, which are quicker on the straights but slower in the corners, which can be a bit of an issue around this circuit. And also they are both on the soft tyre here in comparison to me, who's on the medium tyre. And also third place driver is also on the same tyre. So first, second, fourth and sixth are on the soft tyre here. So I've got my work cut out. We jump on now to the end of lap 5. What wasn't shown was that Keen had a bit of a moment, which meant he had dropped back through the field after a penalty. It's very easy to track extend on this circuit, and penalties are pretty easy. It's very easy to track extend at the final chicane going onto this section here. We're going down the start and finish straight, having to keep in the slipstream of the McLaren. Gran Valley also has good overtaking opportunities throughout the track. Now I'm just going to nip it up. No, not quite nipping up the inside. Realised the move wasn't on, but the McLaren has run wide. I'll take it side by side. Can I manage it? The answer is not quite. So we're going to have to fall back in again and try and do it all over again. Study the driver, find out the weak points, then go at it yet again. Keen's trying to get past the French driver while that's all going on behind him, but that's enough of that through the chicane there. Very easy to get that wrong. We jump onto a little bit further on round the lap. Now we've just noticed here we've got the same point this time out, if anything a little bit closer. So we've got to keep in the slipstream throughout this whole straight in order to make the move done. Now because of the tyre wear, the strategies are pretty open. You can either, in terms of that, one stop was pretty much impossible here. You had a choice of being on the soft tyre where both were being used. Now just nip it up the inside, get a stop up the inside, up to fourth, top medium running out as the first three drivers are all on the soft tyre. Now Dan's going to try and get back here, but realising it's not good trying to do that down this section, and he backs out. He also touches the gravel trap, which is also a half-second time penalty for him, so that will give me a little bit of respite. He will serve this penalty at the end of the lap. The penalty is on the bridge towards the end of the lap. We now fast forward to the end of lap 8, where the soft runners are making their way into the pits. So that's Tom, the Turkish, and M.E. got a Swiss driver. They're all pitting in for a mixture of strategies. Some of them go for another set of soft tyres, while in Tom's case he goes for his medium strategy. We'll fast forward to the end of lap 12. Now I found out in the first race that the medium tyre could only last about 12 laps. I really wanted to try and get 13-14 laps to give myself a little bit extra on the soft tyre, but it wasn't going to happen. So at the end of lap 12 I pit in. If you notice the little numbers there, I have the 07, which is my traditional number, but the room number here for me is number 5. That's why that one's there. Okay, I also chose not to fuel this stop because I fear I would lose track position if I did. The first race I did refuel and I lost track position, so I learnt from that situation and I decided not to fuel. But it didn't do too much difference. I did drop to 6th behind Keen, who made a pit stop much earlier for another set of softs, and the Spaniard who hadn't stopped yet. And when I checked the replay back, I found out that his tyres were completely gone on the left side. So it was justification for me to pit in at the end of lap 12. So power suspender, so is Dan in the McLaren. We're both on the same strategy, so it's vitally important for me to keep ahead of the McLaren. And I've also got to keep up the pace here because now I'm on the faster tyre. I should be able to get ahead and chase the next group. We fast forward a following lap. Now we're putting Keen under pressure. I wanted to try and go for a switchback move, but it's pretty difficult to do, so I'm realising that's too difficult, widening back out of it, but I have to maintain the pressure here. Keen's tyres are also quite a lot older than ours by at least 4 or 5 laps, and whoops, around you go. And the pressure certainly came out on Keen, and he's off. We fast forward another lap. We are now onto the back of the Eagle Turk battle. Eagle going a little bit wide. He's going to pick up a penalty for that. The penalty lines are very strict on this circuit. And the Turk's gone wide. What isn't shown, I'm trying to nip it up around the outside. Oh, that's going to be a little bit tight. But I'm able to keep in the slipstream of Eagle and able to take the plates off the Turk. Off the Turkish driver. And as we mentioned earlier, half-second time penalty for Eagle. It was too close to the penalty line, so Eagle will have to serve it on the next lap. Now for me, it's vitally important to get ahead for my race, and so I don't fall back into the pack. With Dan also right behind me on the same strat, I have to get it done now. And it's not easy when the Toyota's faster than you down the straight, through the tunnel. Grand Valley Speedway, as it was previously known, and Grand Valley Highway are a great set of tracks here. Really enjoy driving them, and I got to grips with it very quickly. So now we're going to move up the inside very quickly. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. Get it up the inside, no touching, squeeze it up the inside of Eagle, and that's me up into second place. Next target now is Tom, who's gone for the soft and now medium tactic. Puts us two, me and Dan, in a favourable position. Dan has got to get past Toyota, and he's going to just about do it. No, he doesn't do it here. Yes, he does actually. I open a bit of a light lie. We now move on to the flap 18, where I do catch Tom, setting fastest up in the process. I was thinking of a cheeky move up the inside, but wisely backed out of it as I realised there was no room in the inn. Both me and Tom are in the same car in the McLaren. We have now broken away from the 4th place driver, and so it's just us 3 now fighting for the victory. The winner of this gets over 300 points, so it's pretty good. It was a slightly lower rated room than the one I was in previously, and with the pace I was at, third was probably the best I could have managed. And had you not seen what happened in the intro, I spun it on the second lap. So through the tunnel now, we're going back through again. Going to keep close to Tom all the way up here, and then try and nip out pretty much at the last minute to try and get the inside line. I've got an overlap. Have I done it? Yes, I got the move done. Nice clean move. And Tom is going to struggle here because he's on mediums in comparison to me and Dan, who are both on the soft tyre. So it's up to me now to try and pull that gap up as much as possible before the McLaren eventually overtakes Tom, which he does do at the end of this lap, which wasn't shown. Fast forward 3 more laps, end of lap 21. We are pitting in again for another set of soft tyres. This time round, we will have to fuel because we've only got 11 litres left in the tank. But this is going to be a quick splash and dash, just to make sure you have enough to get to the end of the race. Now I do underfuel the car slightly to try and maintain track position. Whether this will backfire or not is another matter, because I've got tyres which are going to be pretty old at the end, and I'm also having less fuel than the driver behind me. Yeah, 5 litres less fuel, 5% less fuel even, it's not litres, it's percentage. So 5% less than Dan. So now what we're going to be doing is a little track guide here on the upwards section, braking while tight, keep it tight, first straight into third to make sure I can get it alright. Make sure you go all the way out, but not over the white line. You don't want to put 4 wheels over it. Keep it tight without touching the sand, because it's Californian sand, just like Laguna Seca. It's going to be hard to take off. Braking just before the 5-meter board as it's downhill, and also very tight. Keep it tight within the hairpin. Let it run out and then push it all the way to the right hand side. This is a double apex, so brake hard. Second gear. Keep it tight, let it run out, and then keep the middle line to set up for the next corner. I always go first gear, then drift, and set it up to second, up to third, through the tunnel, into fourth and out again. Then back down to second, keep it tight, quickly short shift to third, keep it in the middle, and then go across. Make sure you get the exit right. You can run over that section without touching the wall, but I choose not to utilize all of the track because I don't want to hit the wall and you lose speed quite a bit. If you do, and you can potentially get a 1.5 second time penalty if you hit it hard enough. So I was driving quickly but safely. That is also a well-known point to losing the car and time. If you hit the bollard section, you know you're going to get a penalty in that last chicane. So you best try and keep it as close as possible without touching it. And then through the tunnel, it's flat out all the way through here. And I keep it going for the straightest possible line for the completion of the lap. Now this lap was my fastest lap of the race at the 46 dead. And it will remain the fastest lap until the end. Now, not much happened between that. We now move on to the final lap now, where you can just see my tyres and my fuel are pretty low. I have been trying to fuel save a little bit by short shifting, which means I won't have to use so much rev range to try and save the fuel. Always try and keep a lap of fuel in mind when you get onto the final lap. If you have less, you're in trouble. It's a balancing act though. So you've got to judge how quickly you can go and how much fuel you're using. So I had just about a lap of fuel left. I overshot the braking point there ever so slightly, which is going to help that catch up with me. Also, McLaren was much better on its tyres, despite being on the soft in comparison to my soft tyres too. So what I'm trying to do here is drive safely, methodically, while also trying to drive as fast as possible to keep the McLaren at bay. I don't want to have any slipstream, knowing my car is quite slow on it. And it's also quite a long way to the line after the last chicane. There's that bridge, which is actually the last bridge you cross. You can see the Pacific on the left hand side. You don't want to be falling in there in a hurry. You know what? In this track, in real life, would not exist. It probably would exist if it was a real life, as in a proper racetrack, but not as a highway. Too many chances of falling in the water, and if you fall in the water from that height, yeah, let's just say it's not going to end well for me. Through the final chicane now, and my time was not actually that quick. The flash of the lights there probably signify what a good chase we had, good battle we had between myself and Dan, and then the McLaren, Nissan and McLaren going across the line now, and that was going to be a victory for me in the last round of the Nation Series. Got 300 odd points there, ended up 15th UK wise, 68th European. Didn't qualify in the end, but it wasn't, qualification wasn't really part of that. It was all for fun, and really, it was all for fun. And now we are showing you the stream highlights. Spin it off on the first corner like I did last time. I might have a suspicion that it could be on the soft tyre. Please be smart with this. They were all on softs. I thought as much, and my fuel saving was similar. So I've got to now put the hammer down, clear track in front. We're both pitted in with similar amount of fuel. I'm not fueling this time. I'm not fueling this time. But how much time did we lose? That's the next question. Comparison. Too much. Whoop. I guess the pressure did work. I got the move done though. Whew. I just squeeze it through, but I ultimately got the move done. Now, let's try and get off to the top. Right, soft tyre. Slightly better than definitely better than Daffin. 9 laps to go. Now go. I had a 1.6 gap when I entered the pit lane. Okay, I'm borderline at the moment. I'm only pushing as hard as I need to. I'm not going to blow records here. Come on. Hopefully there should be enough fuel. Moving it again. To complete the lap. Hopefully there should be enough. Judge that to perfection. Whew. Yes. 307 points there for me. You'll end up all the way down in 11th place. Not ideal. Didn't get the pole, but a fast lap and a clean race. That's enough for me. 308,000 richer too. Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Pete. Hold on a minute. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.